That was a lawyer answer right
Planner.
there. That was an attorney answer. Hey,
Opinion?
Well,
Don't bill us for that now.
I think now because there's so many
Don't bill us for that.
DeSoto County schools, it's like, that's.
Natalie, you ready?
Yeah, good.
It is 6 o'clock. We are going to call this meeting of the Mayor and Board of Aldermen to order. Alderman Miller is absent tonight, but Alderman Doc Harris is on the phone with us tonight attending. So there are 6 of us, 6 board members here tonight. If we could ask Fletcher Short and Sam Trotter to come up and lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance.
Right this way.
All right, y'all face the flag and y'all start when you're ready. You ready? Let's hear it.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, can y'all stay here just a second? Can I give y'all something? This is the official pin for the city of Hernando. Y'all can wear that on your ball caps. Thank y'all for coming tonight and doing that for us.
Good job, guys.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
So cute.
You're welcome. Ben, would you give our invocation for us tonight?
Yes, sir. Let us pray. Dear God, we thank you so much for this beautiful day you created for us, and the little hints of fall that we're getting in the morning now, Lord, as the seasons change, and just reminding us that things are always changing, but they're all under your control. God, we just ask that you would just be with us as we make decisions to better our community, and that we represent you and your Son and our Savior, Jesus Christ. We ask that you would be with the men and women fighting for our freedom here and across the world. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. On this agenda, there's a couple of clerical errors on it. Item 7, the consent agenda A, it should say October instead of September. And then on items 14 and 16, that tabling of item 14 is not supposed to be there. That should be tabling of item 16. So if I could get a motion to approve this amended agenda.
Mayor, before we, can we take B off the consent agenda and vote on that one separately?
We can. Yep, we will add that in as, we'll just move it right in
that'd be
after the
fine.
consent agenda. All right, that's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. And that motion passes. Can I have a motion to approve the docket of claim numbers that are listed in front of you?
Hey, I'll make a motion to approve the docket listed on the agenda we approve. Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. That motion passes. Item 6 is to approve the minutes from the regular Mayor and Board of Aldermen meeting of September 5th.
Motion to approve.
Second.
So motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. That motion passes. Item 7 is the consent agenda minus item B.
Motion to approve. Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. That motion passes. Next is the item B that we removed to discuss forgiving all the permitting fees associated with the new YMCA.
I don't have a problem with the YMCA doing that, but I think we ought to maybe get an opinion, get a legal opinion on that, because I think this is kind of maybe exchange for a donation we're getting from the Mannix Foundation and things like that. On top of that, I think I'd like to know exactly what the fees are going to be before. In my understanding, there's no rush there's no building being built anytime soon, is it?
No, it's not being built anytime soon.
We can just maybe table that till we can get him a chance to get Pittman a chance to look at it.
Okay.
Oh.
Yes, sir. Mr. Hurdle, would you like to come forward?
Briefly. I'm Lanier Hurdle with the Maddox Foundation. This is sort of a quid pro quo, as you know, for the Maddox Foundation is going to donate the repairs to Conger Park. If we would like to get started on the park, but if y'all want to wait, and do we want to table that item as well? It's a my only comment. I'm not trying to push anybody into doing anything that they're not ready to do. I just don't want to I think this may end up delaying getting the park worked on.
Okay.
It's my only.
Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Hurdle on that topic?
And if you, and I'm sorry, this may have been an inappropriate time for me to speak, but I wanted to get, if you want to, we can, when it comes up on the agenda, we can go ahead and I'll talk to you about what we propose to do, and you can go ahead and accept the donation, and then we can wait till the others worked out to actually make the I don't know how you
Yeah,
do that.
yeah, we could just accept your donation and it
Whether
could
we
start
wanna
whenever
make it-
you decide to
we're
do
gonna
it.
make when the other part works out.
Okay,
Okay, well, I'll wait till that comes up. I'm sorry.
okay. Thank you, Lanier.
So just so everybody understands, to be transparent here, so the park is $150,000, I think, from my understanding, or something like that, to be repaired?
It was going to be over 150, well, the repairs that from the storm are over 100,000, and then there's some other upgrades that the Maddox Foundation was going to do, like make it more handicap accessible, replace some rotten boards on other areas, do some painting, do some carpet mulch there, just other things outside of that as well.
We were capped by our insurance at a certain amount of money.
Yes, we got 89,000. We had a $25,000 deductible. So we got about 89,000 in the mail that we put in our bank account.
So what I think the Maddox Found Mr. Lanier is saying is that they will make the difference, make us whole, if we then, I guess, waive these fees, which could be excess of maybe $75,000, we think, maybe.
The letter that we got from Austin, at a certain valuation where we think it would be, it's a little over $80,000 in value to remove those permitting fees.
And this, I guess, for Mr. Pittman, do you think we need some type of opinion, make sure that's up and up? Yeah.
Okay. Did you have a motion to table that item?
I'll make a motion that we table it, maybe, I don't know how long it's going to take Steve to do that. I mean, probably a couple of weeks.
Maybe both items.
Please, the first meeting in October, October 2nd, second meeting in October.
Have we received the 89,000 from the insurance?
Oh, we have,
Can we
yeah.
start getting some of the stuff done there? Or are we waiting to do it all at one
To
time?
bid it out.
Well, the Maddox Foundation was going to handle the
I
whole
got you.
thing.
And they were going to be doing some upgrades too that wasn't included in the damage.
Right, that's correct.
Yeah, so the damage alone
So we're not
was
giving them
over what we
89,000.
received in money. But they were going to do some more upgrades with some of the newer materials to keep from the
We can,
playground.
Lanier will speak to that
Yeah.
when we get to that item.
Yeah,
It would be helpful for me to know what numbers we're talking about.
Yeah.
okay.
So there's a motion on the table. Oh,
Table it to the next board meeting, I guess would be, we can revisit it then. The October 4th.
The second board meeting in October is what Stephen said.
you
But
think
is
we-
that
you
gonna
think we can do
delay
it
us?
First board meeting in October, possibly?
Do my best.
Okay.
We can always table it again if we get to that point.
Okay. So there's a motion to table it to the next board meeting.
Second.
So a motion and a second to table it to the next board meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. That motion passes. Next is the personnel docket. Can I have a motion on that item?
Motion approved.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. That motion passes. Item 9 is the regular donations docket.
Motion approved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. All opposed, no. That motion passes. Next is item 10, the approval of the proclamation to declare October of 2023 as Down Syndrome Awareness Month.
Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the proclamation for October 2023 as Down Syndrome Awareness Month in Hernando.
Second.
It's a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. That motion passes. And just as an aside, there will be a picnic for them where I'll be presenting this proclamation at about 12:30 at the Goodman Oaks Church of Christ up in South.
That's the one y'all do every year?
Yeah, it happens every year. So everybody's invited to that if y'all want to come out and get a free hamburger and hang out with some really nice people.
What day?
It's this Saturday, I'm sorry. Item 11 is approval of the final payment of $36,096.80 to Cerberus Investment for the Fire Station Number 1 addition, and it has been completed if y'all want to walk down and look at it sometime.
Motion
Chief, you
to
good with it?
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. That motion passes. Item 12, as y'all know, we are negotiating via a special hired attorney with C Spire, and it's taking a little more time than we thought it would, so we would like y'all to approve a resolution to extend the term of the current franchise agreement with C Spire until December 30th while we continue negotiations.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. That motion passes. Item 13, Lanier, if you'd like to come up, this is the approval to accept a donation from the Maddox Foundation to rebuild the damaged Conger Park Playground and make additional needed upgrades and improvements. Before you start, I just want to kind of remind the board of our history with the Maddox Foundation. Years ago, when the wooden playground was first built, the Maddox Foundation was leading the effort on that with their money and their efforts, and we appreciate it immensely. It's been a long time ago. That was about 2003 probably. Is that when that was? Maybe two?
High school, we did.
Yeah, and then just a few years ago, 2 or 3 years ago,
2019.
in 19, they rebuilt it again and refurbished it. It is a wooden playground, so it takes a lot of rebuilding and upkeep and refurbishment. And so they did that as well with their own funds as a donation to the community. And now we have had the huge double trunk tree fall on it and crush a large portion of it. And the Maddox Foundation is willing to help us out with those repairs. So if you'd like to speak to that.
Okay, I'll try to be as brief as I can, and thank you for letting me be here. And those of you that know me, brief is really not my long suit, but I'm going to do my best. The Conger Park is very near and dear to the Maddox Foundation's heart. I mean, we've spent about $500,000 out there on the park at 2 tries. Now, the first time we had a lot of support from the community. The community gathered together and built it, and it was sort of like a old-fashioned barn raising. It was a lot of fun. That was what was supposed to happen in 2019 when we rebuilt it, but unfortunately we had a monsoon the entire time, and so we got very few volunteers willing to work in torrential rains, and I don't blame them, plus we couldn't do much. So we ended up, we being the staff of the Maddox Foundation, I want to take liberty. You two stand up, April, Mimi. These 2 ladies, their husbands, and another staff member who's not with the Maddox Foundation anymore, and my wife and I spent 34 days down there at the park after the community part of it got over, physically working on the park to get it finished. And so it's, not only do we have our hearts and money, we have our toil and sweat in the thing. So we really want to see it done back right. And so the Maddox Foundation is willing to donate whatever it takes to get it done. We're going to buy the materials. We're going to either do the labor or hire the labor done. We're going to do everything to restore the park and also fix some things in the existing part that wasn't damaged, that maybe got missed in the rebuild or maybe have deteriorated since 2019. So we're going to get it back up to snuff all the way across the board. And that's, the city gets to keep we're not looking for the insurance proceeds. The $89,000 y'all have, that's the city's. Y'all do with it what you want. The only quid pro quo we ask for is it's a separate project, and I'm not trying to get them intertwined too much, but we have also made a commitment to donate $7.5 million to building a YMCA in Hernando if we can get $7.5 million in matching money. And as part of the, quote, match, one of the donations, if we can get the fees waived, well, that's that much money we don't have to pay. And so that's what we ask for in exchange for I don't know what it's going to cost us, probably $150,000, $200,000 we're going to end up spending on the park. And so that's what we want permission to donate the money to you and the work to you to do the park, and then we'd like it if we can get the help on the YMCA permitting fees that are required by the city. So, if there are any questions, I hope I have answers.
Anybody have any questions?
Well, Mayor, will you just fill us in on, for the people that don't know, why this process has taken so long to even?
Yes.
Because I think a lot of people are wondering why it's been,
So this park is not, we can't just go out there and fix it. It's specially built, specially designed by a group called Leathers. So we, for quite a while, had to wait on Leathers to come in and redesign it, re-architect it, we couldn't just go out there and do things to it. There are lots of rules around playgrounds for children's safety, and Leathers knows how to do that. So once that was redesigned by Leathers, then we had to talk to someone about putting a price on it and bidding it. And Mimi back there was the one instrumental in getting those numbers together for us. It just took a long time to get all that together. And then we had to get the insurance company to pay that amount minus the $25,000 deductible. So it's just been a long process, and we are all sick that we had to go through a summer of the kids not having access to that playground. My grandkids are still mad at me about it, so I understand. But I think the long-term solution is we're going to come out with a better Concord Park.
Well, one thing I should have said, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but when we're done, we will have Leathers and Associates who design the park, and they will come inspect it and certify that it meets all safety standards and everything in the park, so you know that you're getting a workmanlike job when it's turned back over to the city.
Just a couple questions. Mayor, as I understand it, the city netted 89,000.
Right, from the insurance
net
company.
From the insurance?
It is.
Okay. And you're not asking for that, Mr. Hurl? The city keeps that?
Well, I was kind of hoping, no, we're not, no, we don't want, the city keeps that money and spends it wherever the city chooses to spend it. We're going to fix the park.
And I'll get you an exact number, but it was
Well,
around 89,000.
We'll provide we're going to buy the materials and whatever.
Okay. Any other questions? All right. If not, could I have a motion to accept the donation at such time as the Maddox Foundation wants to get started on doing the rebuild?
I like that motion, Mayor.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. That motion passes. And we'll be in touch with you after the next meeting when we have the attorney make sure we're doing things legally.
Thank you very much, and we always enjoy working with the city of Hernando. Y'all have been good to us on many levels. And thank you for letting us have the Noah's Gift 5K, which is coming up on the 30th.
You want to give the day of that, the 30th?
Yeah, will you do a plug for that? An official?
Okay, the Noah's Gift is.
I got all 7 listeners watching, so.
What now?
I got all 7 people listening, so.
Okay, I don't know if you can hear me. The Noah's Gift 5K is September 30th. And what Noah's Gift does is it's in memory of Robin's son Noah, who was killed. And it makes grants to teenagers. So any teenager, anybody can make, and it's for a teenager to do something extraordinary. Not go to school, not go to the hospital, but like if they want to skydive or some unusual experience that a teenager wants to do. And I'm going to take one more second of your time. We had 2 kids from Crystal Springs, Mississippi, asked for a grant a couple of years ago for $2,500 to build a skate park. Well, $2,500 is not going to build a skate park.
We know that.
But our grant committee's made up of kids. It's all former grant winners. They're young. I would have just laughed this off. They gave them the grant. These kids went and took the $2,500, went to the city of Crystal Springs, got plans drawn, got the city to lay out a site for them, started raising money. They raised $250,000 and built a skate park. And they will say right now that the reason that got it started was the grant these 2 kids got from Noah's Gift. So we're real proud of that sort of success story. It's a lot of fun to really impact the lives of some kids.
And what's the date of Noah's Gift?
September 30th, 5K. It's start time 8 o'clock in the morning. And I will be there. I will walk. I don't run. I'd love to see any of y'all.
Thank you, Lanier.
Thank you,
Thank
Lynn.
you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, item 14, which is not tabled. Austin, if you would present that one to us.
All right, this is PL 1752, and the request is for a final plat approval on Winningham Estates, Section E. It's the north side of Nesbitt Road, east of Winningham Drive, in Section 25, Township 2, Range 8. Andy Richardson is here tonight representing the application. A little brief history on the site. It was rezoned to PUD in March of 2005 by the Board of Aldermen. Section A was platted in 2007. The economic downturn happened, and Phase B didn't come until 2017. Phase C in 2022, and Phase D in 2023. Section E for tonight is 26 additional lots, ranging from roughly 10,000 square feet up to 24,000 square feet. The required setbacks are the same as the previous phases: front of 30, side of 15, cumulative, and a rear of 25. I did include some brief history on the covenants of the subdivision, of the 1,800 square foot minimum, and the architectural standards. And then speaking of the covenants, we did include in the proposed motion that a joiner be required to link the covenants of the previous phases of the subdivision to make everything continuous. And I did include a map in your staff report that shows the preliminary plan as shown on the PUD, which serves as a preliminary plat. And as you can see, it does substantially conform to that of the preliminary submittal. And then, since the last phase was constructed, a construction entrance has been built to Highway 51. So it's helped pull a lot of the construction traffic off the existing subdivision. And in the proposed motion, there are 12 standard criteria for approval to include that joinder to link the covenants of the previous phase. The plats in your staff report, as well as the associated maps with the development as a whole. And I'm available if you have any questions, and Andy's here tonight to answer anything from the applicant side.
Any questions or concerns for the planning director? If not, is there anyone here that would like to speak on this topic? Is there a motion?
Where's that construction entrance go in at, off 51?
It's
at the northern boundary up there.
North of Curtis Grocery, right?
the extension of Miller's Way on the northern line goes out to Highway 51.
Aren't there's going to be some commercial lots right there in the end?
There is commercial frontage on the Highway 51 side.
I'm assuming there'll be a section F.
I'm guessing probably 2 or 3 more additional phases to go.
Okay.
To finish out Gwynn Road, maybe 2 phases, and then out to Highway 51 be at least 1.
Okay.
Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve final plat approval for Winningham Estates, Section E as described in the staff report, subjected to the 12 conditions listed in the staff report.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. That motion passes. We'll move on to item 15.
This is PL 1756. It's another request for final plat approval, and this is Jefferson Estates, Section E. This is also zoned PUD, and Andy Richardson is also representing this application tonight. A little brief history on the site. It was done by the DeSoto County Board of Supervisors in 2003 and annexed into the city in 2005. Section A was done within the city limits in May of 2007, was the recording date. Section B was December of 2018. Section C was 2020 in August, and Section D was July of 2021. This Section E has 35 lots and 2 common open space lots, similarly sized to the previous submittal, and this will be the final phase of Jefferson Estates. The required setbacks are the same as required in the PUD and the restrictive covenants, front of 25, side of 5, rear of 20. And then also similar to the last application, we did include in the proposed motion the declaration of joinder be in place to link the previous covenants with this phase, so it all is continuous as well. In your staff report, I did include the plat, and as you can see, this does include that final piece of common open space along Holly Springs Road, which is substantially complete already with the streetscape. The last piece would be the sidewalks, which will be completed with the homes on the north and south side of the road. As I mentioned, this is the final phase of Jefferson, so this is the final plat we'll see from the subdivision. Andy's here representing the application tonight, and I'm available if you have any questions.
Any questions or concerns from the board?
So this is the piece that's just north of, was it Jackson Drive?
Yes, sir, the final little block square going to Holly Springs on the second entrance.
Okay.
Is there anyone here to speak on this topic? If not, is there a motion from the board?
Motion to approve the final plat for Jefferson Estates subdivision, Section E, a 35-lot, single-family residential subdivision located on the southeast corner of Holly Springs and Jaybird Road at the eastern terminus of Beauvoir, however you pronounce that, Road in Section 21, Township 3 South, Range 7 West, based upon a finding that the submitted final plat generally conforms to the approved preliminary plan, where the plan unit development and generally meets the requirements of the city's codes and ordinances, subject to the following conditions, 1 through 14.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. That motion passes. And on item 16, the applicant has requested 30 days.
Yes, sir. This one, we did make contact with the owner of the property, and we posted it for a public hearing for a demolition tonight. And they instructed us they're going to be applying for a demolition permit to not incur those taxes. So hoping for the best, but 30 days is what we would like to give them.
I'll motion to table for 30 days.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. That motion passes. It is tabled. Item 17. Yes.
Go back to 16. Item 16,
Yes.
the property on 16 Hill Street.
Yes. Were you here to speak on that? Oh, well, come on up. I'm so sorry. Yeah, come on. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Yeah, we just thought y'all had asked to table it, so y'all come on
We
up.
just need to find out what's going on.
Okay. I'm sorry, I jumped the gun
We're
on
in the
that.
process, hi, I'm Benita. We're in the process of getting the demolition together.
Okay.
The guy that, my brother, he's supposed to be giving us the call back, and we
Okay.
will know something, before the weekend is out.
Okay, so y'all think y'all should have it done or in process in the next 30 days?
That's
Yeah,
the
so that's,
plan.
that's great,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Yes, sir. I made a phone call to a demolition company, and they're going to come out this Saturday and inspect everything and give us a quote.
Great.
So within the next 30 days, the property should be taken down and the lot should be clear.
Very good. Yeah, because it's a lot cheaper for y'all to get it done than for us to get it done.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Is the city requesting us tear it down or what?
Yes, I'm going to let Austin answer that question because,
I'm trying to find out what the city requesting it or what?
That's correct, yes, sir. So we've advertised a hearing for public health and safety.
What
That-
the safety issue on it? I'm just trying to find out.
It's derelict property, and we're afraid it needed to be condemned, and so.
it's
That's kinda
in
what we
an
got here.
unsafe state.
Right.
And that's it?
Yes, sir.
And so we've tabled it for, the board has already voted to table it for 30 days to give the owners an amount of time to get it torn down. So,
That's perfect.
okay,
That'll work. 30 days is fine.
okay, thank you very much.
All right, no problem.
And if y'all need me, call up here and ask for me at the office, if y'all need me for anything.
All right.
Okay. All right, item 17, the board had asked us to get together a preliminary list of possible streets to be paved. We tasked Joe Lauderdale with doing that, and he came up with a preliminary list, working with Lee a little bit. And tonight, you have sitting in front of your desk some estimated cost. So Joe, if you want to run through those and talk about them real quickly, or?
Okay. Yeah, this was kind of a list I was given to look at. No particular order. It's just the name of the street and about how much it would cost to overlay the street or repair the street or do whatever we decide to do on it. So, number one there is the roundabout at McInville and Holly Springs Road. Number two is Fairway Oaks Cove, which was in last year's request. We're waiting on some repairs on the water lines, so back on the list again this year.
And
Panola Street,
on Fairway, it's not just the cove, it's the whole street,
okay?
all the way from the clubhouse down, correct?
Yes, from the north of the clubhouse,
Right.
Yes,
north of the clubhouse, all the way to the end of the,
into the cove.
yeah. It's about 1,500 feet long. Yeah. Okay. Up on Panola Street, the asphalt part, if you've been up there when we have any kind of event, is peeling off on the sides, and we're going to repair that and overlay that section of asphalt there.
And that one was brought to our attention by Gia. She's a little worried about all the festivals we have there, and it might be okay for cars, but it's not okay for walking on. There's a lot of trip hazards there, so we're going to get that little piece of asphalt in there where we close the street down for weddings and fairs and events, things like that.
Okay. Memphis Street, start there at 51 Highway, there at the railroad. Go north all the way to the south end of Laurelwood. That was on the list. That's a pretty big number. It's a mile long, so it would be a big number. Center Street, start out at Mount Pleasant, go west all the way to School Street. That's the street where the sides are peeling up, been repaired right there a couple of times. Here's Shower Drive, that's Notting Hill. That's actually the three streets that are named Hillshire. It's west, north, and east, I think, so. Takes care of those streets. Magnolia Drive, start at Oak Grove Road and go south to the city limits. The county did the part in the county last year. Drake Cove, College Street, from Oak Grove Road to Hill Street. If you've been over there, you got some settlement there in the streets. We've had that for many years where that sewer line's continuing to settle over there. Kirkendall Sports Parking Lot.
And I'll speak to that one very quickly. Alderman Piper had initiated a conversation with the Board of Education, who own that parking lot, and they have gone ahead and hired a company to do it at a price of $27,000. They couldn't use the same contractor we use because he's not on their list. They are asking us to pay for half of it, so it'd be about $13,500, and so that would be cheaper than the $24,000 we're seeing here. And then in the future, they don't want to own that parking lot, so they're going to start working towards gifting it to us in the future.
That'd be great.
So they're going to take care of paving that one, and I'm going to put it on our next agenda for us to donate the half to them for that.
Okay, Brody Road was on somebody's list. Thinking about a microseal type surface on it if we do it.
Didn't you say that's what the Civil Link process had told us was one of the options for Brody Road?
2018 book said that was recommended for that road, and I don't see a lot of change in the road since then. Be a surface similar to out here on Commerce Street, same type surface. This low spot up here on the square on Commerce Street where the concrete section there is settled.
And just so y'all are clear, as you go up the asphalt here, it turns to concrete right before you hit the square, and it's got some very serious bumps in it. And it's annoying for traffic, but worse than that, when you have the A-Fair and people are walking down that street, they're tripping over those things and falling down. So I asked Joe to take a look at that.
Get that one. Cedar Cove and Oakhurst Drive Cove actually should be off of Timber Lane. This would be up in the cove itself, each one of those coves, not the whole street, but up at the end. It's kind of got a different looking turnarounds up in there, and I can see they've had some water problems over the years there. Part of Timber Lane, which is on the north end of Timber Lane where it turns. There's about 300 feet there, needs overlaying.
You said starting at about Ludlow, heading north?
Yeah, it's a little bit north of Ludlow, but that's approximately the location. And if you keep going on around on Northwood Hills subdivision, you get around to Northwood West Drive. That's where you turn and head back west.
No.
So it's about 700 feet there that needs overlaying from Northwood Drive down to the creek, where it crosses a creek. Ridgeview, the east end of Ridgeview, where did I put that?
That's in Laurelwood, I believe.
Yes, Laurelwood, where you turn off of Memphis Street. It's a bad spot right there, about 500 feet there.
And we would probably include that in a bid with the Memphis Street so they could be done as one project.
Yes. Mount Pleasant Drive, that's right there just east of Kirkendall Park, that little section right there. I am working right now on Pendleton. I need a little bit more. There's another little section I left out. It's about 350 feet that I really need to do. It's actually in worse shape than some of Pendleton is. So that's that list. I've been given a couple of more lists tonight, so.
Now Pendulum, you're going to do north and east, right? It's where it kind of goes all the way down and then loops back around and runs back into.
That's right.
Okay. I just want to be sure, because I thought that's where they had started grading it off.
Right, it's actually from Sundial
Right,
east,
right.
and there's a little bit more from Sundial
Yeah.
going back west that needs a little more work.
Well, my list I gave you, I just wanted to see some of the repairs. Some things are very minimal, but I just want you to look at them and just see what your assessment is of those locations, because they're, over, since last winter, some of them kind of started breaking up, all the rain we had.
Okay.
And if y'all will notice, I mean, I know everybody here knows it, but I'm going to just make sure the public understands that we budgeted $3,300,000 in street projects. This list is a little over 1.4 million, so there's a lot more paving and street projects that we can add. So as you get those lists to Joe and Lee, they can look at them and rank them and get back with you at a meeting further down the road. But this will at least give us a starting point to start working from.
So is it our goal to get some of these done before the end of this year?
Joe, you think you can get it? Yeah, that's my goal.
What if we took out 1, 4, and 7, and then got a bid for all the rest of them? And then
When you say take out, you mean
just for this year?
wait till the spring?
Right, on 1, 4, and 7.
Okay. You're not saying take them out.
Because if you take those 3 out, the total will be $534,000 this year. 'Cause we don't have
But
time.
bid it as one to get a better asphalt rate.
Right,
For this calendar year?
yeah.
Okay.
That's
I just want to
my-
make sure you don't want to take.
No, just where we can get
Sure.
those 18 or 16
Yes.
done this year.
Yeah. No, that's.
Joe,
good.
you think there's a chance we could get those other 16 or 18
All
done?
those, we'll try. If you took out the roundabout work for this year,
Correct. 1, 4, and 7.
yeah. I
Talking about
need
just
to
in the-
start on some of the concrete work for the roundabout.
Okay.
Mainly the changing of the curb and gutter and sidewalk over on Toyota's side. So that's something I can kind of do in the wintertime
Yeah.
and not
Okay.
disrupt traffic. I can be working over there on that side and,
Is everybody okay with that going on during the winter?
and, do
Yes.
some of my concrete work around out there.
Okay.
Hey, Mayor, could I get an update on Reedy Drive? I don't know if it's on one of the lists that Joe Frank has been given tonight, but could I get an update on it, Joe Frank?
Okay.
Yes, we can. That one is in bad shape. It is someone we certainly need to put on the list. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. And as y'all keep feeding me other streets that you want Joe to look at, well, as soon as you give them to me, I'll give them to Joe. And
Like, we still have about $1 million worth of repairs to do, so, it's good.
I've got Chad's here.
It's like 4 or 5 pages, that's not all of it. I'm just messing with you, it should only be about 4 or 5.
I mean, in your opinion, just to bring up the roundabout again, in your opinion, and we've talked about it over the years, I know y'all looked at it and done traffic studies over there and try to look for different ways to mark the lanes and stop signs and all kinds of stuff. In your opinion, is that the best solution for that corner?
Yes?
I mean, I think it is because I drive it all the time and I see near accidents all the time. But I just, and I drive through there thinking, what else could we do to avoid having to put that there? I have no issues with it. I just, I go every angle coming from every direction to see how a traffic flow would work with one, and I just can't come up with anything other than that. So I welcome anyone else's thoughts or proposals on that, because that's really become so dangerous, especially with that convenience store opened now.
I mean,
I think
I
it's the
remember-
perfect spot for a roundabout.
Yeah, when we looked at the two options, I think the roundabout was less expensive than
Right.
doing some sort of, I don't remember what
Even if
that
we did
second option
lights or
was.
anything there, I mean, we've had people draw stop signs, but either way, there's has to be one, at least a minimum of one direction has to come to a complete stop there, which
Which is not what we really need
that's,
to have.
it's not going to work there,
Mm-hmm.
so,
That's what happened on one of the studies, one of the two studies.
right.
The southbound traffic on McInville had to come to a complete stop.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the most traffic that's on that street, so.
Right. Most people are doing the going southbound. Yeah, and I just can't think of any way to mark it and define direction other than that. I mean, I can't think of any better place in the city that this would work.
Oh, yeah, that's a
that-
perfect spot for
It's a
one.
perfect spot, so.
So do we need
If-
to make a motion for him to get bids on these?
Yeah, one more thing real quick.
Yes.
If, I know we're sending in lists, but if you could take a look at Weatherby, that whole neighborhood, I know we did the crack seal a couple of years ago, the same time we did the crack seal at Notting Hill, I believe, and I know now theirs is getting paved, but Weatherby is, I don't think it's ever been paved from the original construction.
Right, it hadn't.
Okay, so, I mean, I know that's a large area, but, because the crack seal, it's cracked again.
Okay.
Sorry, Bruce,
Okay.
go ahead.
We're gonna make a motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion on this list of 19 items, to leave off 1, 4, and 7 until next year, but for Joe to get a bid to,
You mean
Pay
still
for
in this
Next
budget
calendar
year?
year, next
Correct.
calendar
Yeah,
year.
yeah, okay,
Right.
okay.
but for him to get a bid on getting these paved.
Second. So motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. That motion passes. Thank you very much. Item 18 is the public hearing to approve the resolution on Hernando West special tax assessment. During the last administration, it was approved to build the Hernando West sewer, take out a loan to pay it back, and assess the property. And this resolution is just a piece of finishing that up. Bill, would you like to say anything?
Thank you. If we were to object to it, I'm sure I would be ordered to be shot on site, so I won't object. The sewer that was completed under this project actually runs from the existing sewer of soccer field up to Robinson Road. Is not actually, it's not actually the sewer that we paid for out of pocket to run it the rest of the distance on Robinson. The assessment will only be on property that will be served eventually by that sewer on Hernando West. Does not include the portions that have already been developed across the street here. So those people won't be assessed in the assessment. Will strictly be on this. We were asked to pay out of pocket for engineering and legal fees and something I'm forgetting right now. All that's been paid. We were asked to pay to the approximate first year, that's been paid, we're really asked to post a, or we agreed to, we're really asked to. We agreed to do those things and agreed to post a strict deposit to be held for the duration of it, which has been done. So as far as I know, we've done everything we agreed to do when we were asked to do. So now, just get us with some taxes, I guess.
Yeah, this should be the final piece of the bureaucracy of getting it paid for and on y'all's taxes. Any questions? Not, can I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve the resolution on Hernando West special tax assessment.
Second.
Second.
And before we vote, is there anyone here with the public that wanted to speak during this public hearing on this topic? Hearing none, I'll call a vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. That motion passes. Now, that concludes the public hearing portion of this meeting. We'll move on to item 19.
Hey, real quick, I meant to leave number 2 off too, to the spring.
Oh, we just will. Yeah, we know we're not going to do that until that one's paved, or until the pipes are put in. Item 19. Neil Schaefer is, on our behalf, wanting to request the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Vicksburg District to undertake an environmental infrastructure project under the authority of the Water Resources Development Act of 1999 with us to serve as the sponsor. It's going to take a while to get this applied for. What this will do is do an inflow study of the other parts of the city that are not covered under the ARPA fund project we're doing to see where stormwater is getting into our sewer system. Having just been through this budget process, y'all know that our DECRUA charges have gone up crazily because we're getting a lot of stormwater into the system. So this would be one avenue that we could take to possibly get some federal money to help us out with figuring out and assessing where that's happening.
Will there be any matching here? What would be
There
the
would be some matching funds, and this does not put us on the hook.
Yeah.
Y'all are just allowing us to apply. I think it's a 25% match.
It says the first phase is $3 million, so.
Yeah, it would take, and it would probably not be in this budget that we would end up spending money. It would be the next budget. Because obviously we didn't budget a match this year, but I just, as much as we are spending on DECRUA fees for the stormwater that's getting into the sewer system, I think anything we can do to negate that is money well spent for future budget years.
I agree.
So I just need a motion to let us apply for the
Motion
grant.
approved.
Second.
It's a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. That motion passes. Item 20 is the approval to advertise for bids for the Mackingville Road Sidewalk Project, which has been authorized for us to advertise by MDOT. Joe Frank's been working on this for 8 years or so.
You always tell me that.
It's not your fault. It's had some lags from the bureaucracy involved. But this, just to remind everybody, this is the short section of sidewalk that will connect where Walgreens stops on Mackingville Road, head north to the south entrance of the high school. So y'all all know there's a lot of kids from the school walking down in the street, in the dirt, trying to get down to Walgreens to get a drink on their breaks and things like that. And this is just one way we can keep those kids a little bit safer and make another place for people to safely walk in general.
It won't go across where the baseball field is, that area.
It won't. It stops at that south
Right past the
entrance.
Magnolia apartment complex.
Right.
I have a question. It's on the same subject, but not this specific area. Like sidewalks for where the elementary school is, East Parkway. And, you know, for folks that live over there, their kids have to get on the bus get on the bus to ride around the corner to the school because there's no sidewalks for them to really walk.
We need them there for sure. We don't have them budgeted for this year, but that's something
No,
certainly we need to look at.
It's something I'd like to look at for that school and the surrounding area because there's so many small homes over there with children. And people are kind of, you know, there's bits and pieces, but there's nothing solid all the way around over there on East Parkway to Raleigh.
That might be a grant we look for in the next tip cycle of the MPO funds.
Yeah, I was just thinking it could be a grant since it's for, a school area.
They did
When
do
we were
away
talking
with-
about this.
They did away with the Safe Routes to School grants, but there are just general pedestrian-friendly grants that we could go after.
Okay. That would be very,
We
everyone over
especially
there would
need
be
the new
very
schools.
grateful.
All right. Can we have approval to advertise that project for bids?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. That motion passes. Item 21 is the approval to surplus the 2004 Kubota tractor, serial number 50910, asset number 398, and let Crenshaw Auction Company try to sell it for us. We got an estimate to repair it, and it exceeded the value of the tractor to do it, so it just wasn't worth it.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. That motion passes. Item 22 is to surplus some and dispose of parks equipment that have no value, and they're listed on the agenda.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. That motion passes as well. Item 23 is the utility adjustments.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. That motion passes.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion to adjourn and a second. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, no. We are adjourned. Thank you, Doc. I'm going to hang up on you if you're done.